Humble Bundle, and it was all of the Pajama Sam games and like Putt Putt and Freddy Fish and stuff. I never played all of those. I only played Pajama Sam because that's where the real fire is. But
no,
I'm just saying,
false, lies, slander.
Listen,
Rita Rabbit,
I respect
the one
Freddy
where they
Fish,
go into the forest. There's a dress-up game. There's I think there's a writing game. I don't know. I can't read.
I've never heard of this one.
Early 2000s computer game.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued and delighted.
Hold on.
But I was
feel so
a Pajama Sam bitch,
about this.
and I live by that.
Rita Rabbit? I've not heard
That's
of this
fine.
either.
Listen, I used to go to the library. We used to check out Rita Rabbits because that's it. Because that's what
because that's where the heat is. I get it. I understand.
Hold on. I wonder if I can just...
I don't know this rabbit.
Scooby-Doo
Do you
2
recall
Monsters Unleashed.
the Pajama Sam charcuterie minigame? They started us young.
And to be fair, I never did play Pajama Sam. I don't want to play Rita Rabbit.
Raph, do we need to like educate each other on early 2000s children's games on stream? Do we trade? Is this where we trade point-and-click adventures?
What is the like creative writing game that they had? Game 2000.
I think that's just called like
my first video game tech computer game was.
That's just writing, man. That's it.
My first computer game was either fucking Zoombinis or Oregon Trail, maybe both. Also, Magic School Bus games were awesome.
Magic School Bus
computer games.
My first computer game was like this old dungeon crawler that my dad loved, and I
hell yeah,
I can never for the life of me remember what it's called, but it's this like isometric like. Just a classic party builder, and they give you a donkey to carry all your stuff. These are just
get that donkey.
And also Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, my favorite computer game ever.
All right, okay.
Scooby-Doo can stay.
Scooby-Doo can hang.
Scooby-Doo can hang. I'm trying to find. There was this like kids clue game, like kids detective game that I played. And it was before I could read, so I really just like played the game because it was colorful.
I played all the Nancy Drew computers.
Was it either
before they got bad?
Egypt. Okay, this might be.
What was it called?
I've got two games that I'm thinking of. One of them, of course, was the I Spy games that were made into CD-ROM point-and-click I Spy games. The Haunted Mansion was in my nightmares, and made me the person I am today.
Kids Detective 2000s.
Do y'all remember the Eyewitness games?
What the fuck?
What?
No.
It doesn't. Okay, it's not what that is. It was you're in a museum uncovering dinosaur bones.
Oh, cool.
It was the Eyewitness Dinosaur Hunter CD-ROM game that came out in the 90s that was also my entire personality. And you built skeletons of dinosaurs, but when you built them, then it kind of night at the museum came alive, and then there was dinosaurs walking around with you.
Awesome.
Okay, I've never wanted anything more than this. You said bones, and you had my attention.
I think somebody has like hacked it and put it online. But game of all time, it scared the shit out of me, and I played it so much.
That is awesome.
There was a Finding Nemo PC game way back in the day.
Way back in the day, JT.
Ouch. Clue Finders. Okay, I found it. It's Clue Finders. Sorry.
Thank you. Good gravy. Clue Finders.
I had a Carmen Sandiego game. Only was the
Carmen Sandiego. I had the Carmen Sandiego like board game that was like it came with like the clues. You'd have to like figure it out, and like that shit was hard. That shit was very hard. Took me years.
It's like, why am I trying to find her again? Maybe I don't want to. She can do everything.
Carmen, listen.
Chad is hounding me for how young I am.
Señora Sandiego, leave.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Oh,
that shit took years of my life when I was a child.
Blink 182's classic rock. Let's begin.
JT.
Stop!
JT. You are... Today's gonna go great for Octavia. You are making choices.
I'm being threatened. For no reason. For no reason.
Sid, why are you scratching? Stop that.
Anyways.
I did see somewhere. I don't know if it's fact. Okay, last little hurtful.
Yeah,
actually, I'm not going to share it because it's too painful.
No, I need you to say it now.
You've committed to the bit. You have to say it.
Okay, I saw somewhere on the internet. I don't remember if it was TikTok or Twitter or whatever. And to be fair, I don't do math. I'm not a math gay. So I didn't verify this. So someone else can verify this for me now that I'm sharing this online for everyone to see. It said that we're the 2000s are wait, how do I explain this? It's like wait,
oh no.
Wait. The 2000s are to kids today. Wait, are to us now as the 80s were to when we were kids. There you go. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
That's that.
Do you mean
That's
to say that the 2000s were 20 years ago?
Yeah.
I got through it. We got there. Anyway, that hurt me a little bit.
I mean, Raph, that was uncalled for, but true.
I was trying to protect you, okay? I was trying to protect
the personal
us,
attack.
Okay? But no,
it was for yourself. I'm unharmed.
JT, you don't know what fanfiction is.
I know what fanfiction is.
You've never even heard of AO3, man.
I have an active AO3 account.
If you don't know what fanfic.net is, you're incorrect.
Share it right now.
I'm not just sharing it. That's very personal, Raph. I feel like I don't know you that way.
I'm gonna find everyone's AO3 accounts. Don't you worry.
Find my AO3.
Godspeed.
Yeah, I was gonna say good luck.
It's very explicitly difficult to find.
Jesus. Anyway,
we are having a time on this Saturday.
I'm stopping now.
All right, I'm gonna bring us in now that we have started with our pre-stream rant conversation info dump. Hi, we are live from the apocalypse. We are a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that raises money for aid organizations and good causes. We are currently raising money for Doctors Without Borders. And so at any point during the stream, you can either click where the subscribe button would usually be. The donate button is there instead, as we have hidden the subscribe button. And you can put whatever money you would have put towards a subscription, towards bits, any of that fake internet currency. Just give it directly to Doctors Without Borders to support the important work that they are doing in Gaza, as well as many other places that are experiencing atrocities right now. We want to support them, and so we do ask that you do not do things like subscribe. We cannot stop you. Twitch will not let us disable subscribe as an option, so if you do, for instance, have an Amazon Prime sub that you would like to throw our way, we will accept that. We just encourage you to keep in mind that there are consequences. If you joined us at the start of the stream, you might have seen that consequence, namely that Brennan Lee Mulligan will kill one dog for every month you have been subscribed. So, don't do that. We've lost a lot. I personally was responsible for 27 before we even really went fully live today, so don't add to that number. Raph is an outlier and should not be counted in their response. I think that is the majority of the housekeeping. This is a Season of Secrets and Shadows. This is our Regency Monsterhearts game where nothing bad ever happens, and it is just a dating simulator, not an emotional trauma simulator, so don't worry about that. I am going to have my cast go around, introduce themselves, who they are playing, and their character's playbook. And then we're going to jump right into the action. But with that, starting with Kit, please introduce yourself, your character, and your normal human playbook.
It's me? Okay. Hi. Hey guys. How's it going? I'm Kit. You can find me most places on the internet at KitRoll or on some other more less fun places at KitRollCos. Tonight I will be Elise, who is just a little guy. Don't worry about it. Nothing to see here. Definitely there's no denying it. She's the vampire. Unfortunately, we've gone too far. We've taken the bit too far. I think I'm, legally speaking, still Darkest Self. You are. Yep. Yeah. So for now, we're hedging a little vampiric, but we'll get better. It's the night is young. We can fix this. I can fix her.
That is the most factual statement I've ever heard. And I mean, I think the moment where you couldn't come back from this really was when you licked Douglas.
Somebody had to do it, okay? Right? Like he was right there, okay?
He was right there, covered in blood.
Full of blood.
Yeah.
At tongue's reach.
Thank you. Just
really
out there, incredibly likable. You know, what's a girl to do, right?
Yeah, we can't fault that decision.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Kit,
you are as always delightful. Steph, you are up next.
Hi, I'm Steph. I will be playing Rhiannon, Duchess of Astolat, Rhiannon Serena Carewood. She is the witch playbook. She has yet to change. She doesn't intend to, and everything is going fine with her. Everything's stable in her relationship. It's great. Don't worry about it. She's not.
I don't know why she would be.
Yeah, no one's lying to her.
Yeah, everything is going really well. You have an incredible boyfriend, soon to be fiance, perhaps.
Just the one fiance, right?
Fuck you. There's always room for more than one fiance.
The night is young, Rhiannon.
You have two hands. Speaking of two hands, JT, you were you were up next.
Oh, you were gonna sing to rap for that
one. What? Fascinating. Can you prove I have two hands? Make the segue make sense, JD. Hi, I'm JT. I'm Queen Octavia Frostpin of the Winter Court, newly crowned, continuing to fuck up as equally as she did before, which really proves that the title does not make the lady. The lady also does not make the title. She's very bad at this. And it's getting worse.
Absolutely incredible introduction. And last but not least, the most well-adjusted person at the table, Raph.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Carmen. No, you said me personally. Okay, cool. Good to know. Actually, hold on. Give me just a second. I need one more word, please. Anyone?
What's the hint for the crossword?
No hint.
I'm concerned.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
I can't spell that, but I did hear denial. Okay, here we go.
Can I pitch flow as a solo word?
There we go. Okay, hi, I'm Raph. I'm playing Carmen Deloso, who is very put together. Everything's fine. Actually, for real though, actually everything is really good with Carmen. The happiest, most carefree he's been in a very long time. It feels like all of the bad memories and pain he's been holding on to are just melting away. It's pretty amazing what, time can do. But I play the Infernal playbook, and I think that's it. I don't know. I don't remember what else I'm supposed to say.
No, I think that covered it. I think that captured where Carmen is at very, very well. And it is a shame that in addition to the healing that they are experiencing, things seem to be changing and feeling a little less real. But maybe that's what healing is.
I mean, honestly, the more numb you are, the more healed you are. And that's fact. That's just truth right there.
We're going to clip that. Yes, at some point. Immortalize that forever.
Legal has informed me to mention that Raph does not mean that or believe that as a as an actor. It is all in character, just to cover our bases, legally speaking.
Raph's views are Raph's own. Raph does not.
Raph does not speak for live from the apocalypse.
I represent this organization. Everything I
can
say
we get a tag
is considered
under Raph's byline that just says my own views, not medical advice.
Putting out a press release today.
This table is always delightful to be back at. And I realize I almost escaped, and I could have escaped, but I didn't. Hello, I am JD. I am the storyteller for this game, and I will be playing everyone else. And who that might include tonight, well, we may see a few of them in a few moments, but we may also see some unexpected faces as the night progresses. Because, of course, we started last session. Well, we didn't start there. We ended there. We ended at an engagement party where absolutely nothing abnormal was happening. In fact, there was dancing, you exchanged partners, you had moments with one another. It was mostly fine, except for that vision that Octavia had. But I'm sure that means nothing and was absolutely not anything to be concerned about. I'm also sure that where things ended is nowhere to be concerned about either, because we ended with a far too bright shining light falling directly on the grounds of the palace. Caught everyone's attention, took everyone away from the engagement that was being celebrated. And it made some of you concerned about what might be happening back there. And so, where we are going to start today is in the city of London, which trembles in the wake of that beam of light appearing, settling right down where the palace lays. But now the flash is gone, leaving just those after images, and the world is quiet, but far from still. Because the ripples are being felt throughout the city. Windows and doorways are appearing. Some to the unnatural and almost too vibrant and overly saturated colors of fairy. Some to the fire and brimstone of hell. And even some to the bright yet cold light of heaven. But we don't linger. We don't look in this moment to see what comes through, if anything. We move to the interior of the palace, not outside where that light fell, so we do not see what has unfolded on that blighted patch of lawn outside. We instead move to the war room, though its purposes are not always that of war and have varied throughout the centuries. Most recently, it was returning to its roots as a war room, with preparations being made to navigate the, at that time, seemingly inevitable conflict with the Winter Court. So, as our new Queen Octavia Frostpin has stopped that, the focus has shifted instead to the problem of these planes bleeding through into one another, and how to control or stop these portals from opening, and to find those who have disappeared into them. There is a figure who we have not seen before, standing at the head of the table. And she is standing there, despite the fact that both Sovereign Micah and Queen Louis are in the room with her. She is taller than Queen Louis, though shorter than Sovereign Micah. But despite her height, her presence is intimidating. She is considerably more muscular than both of them, and those muscles are on full display with the outfit she is wearing, as it is showing a scandalous amount of skin. Her black hair would reach her shoulders were she wearing it down, but it's tied back, and it reveals that the layers of hair beneath have been cropped short close to her skull. Her eyes are in dark makeup, as are her lips, and she is wearing what could be considered a leather shirt, but it looks a whole lot more like a vest, given that it covers her torso and not much else, and seems purely there to serve as armor to protect vital organs. Her pants are skin-tight leather as well, and it looks like it should be difficult for her to move in them, but they cling to her like they're part of her body. And there is a necklace fitted around her throat. A collar made of silver with a dark green stone in the center. And were anyone to look at this necklace closely, thank you for the follow! Were anyone to look at this necklace closely, you would notice it has no visible clasp or release. She does not react to the ground shaking, nor to the flash of light, though she does respond in a way. She responds by just standing there solidly, her hands braced against the table in front of her as they had been, as she had been leaning over to look at the various papers and maps and documents spread out before her. And as things settle, she straightens up a bit and closes her eyes and breathes in deeply, almost like she's tasting the air. And the stone in the center of her necklace glows, as do her eyes when she opens them. That same bright, unnatural green. Sovereign Micah is the one to break the silence, and they simply say, "Seneschal Nyx?" And she glances over at them, and the light in her eyes is fading a bit, returning to the still unnatural green that her eyes are, but not quite that same bright, glowing quality, almost like cat's eyes. "It's funny," she says, almost reflexively. "For every step towards balance we take, another piece slides out of place. It's delicious." And then she smiles, and it is a feral smile. It is the smile of a hunter activated to find prey. Let's see what heaven sent us. And we leave the palace there to see whatever happens next. Perhaps we'll see that next week when we join our Friday table. But we leave our new seneschal Nyx with the sovereign and queen, and we see a few flashes of other places. I'm going to ask, gonna wait on that for just a moment. No, before we make our way to the Carewood estate, we're going to move through the city, and we see some of those portals that had opened up closing almost as quickly as they appeared, some flickering in and out. But we see one that remains open, and we see the moment that a pair of hooves dive through as a 21-hand pitch black horse leaps out, hooves literally sparking as they hit the cobblestone. Eyes glowing with fire. And we see a figure who we've only seen once before, and never fully clearly, on that horse's back. The figure is wearing a hooded robe to where we cannot see their face. So, were Octavia here, and were Emery here, they would recognize the leader of the Wild Hunt, Niall. And we do not stay with him for more than a few moments. We just see that horse making a direct beeline somewhere. And we hear the echoes of a horn in the distance before that doorway to Fairy is closed. Anyways, over at the Carewood estate, I'm curious, Rhiannon.
Uh-huh. We're still at the ball, though, right?
You are. You are.
Okay.
But I am very curious to get your input on this because you have locked up your father's ghost in the attic, if I recall.
Yeah, Carmen and I handled that until we could exercise him properly.
What does the attic look like? How have you secured it?
The attic, as in many big old houses, it has older pieces of furniture, locked trunks. It's organized, though. It's easy to walk through. It spans the entirety of the roof line, and it's more going, if you go up the stairs to the attic and you turn left and you walk down a bit, there is a point about midway where the trunks and the furniture stop, and there is just an empty space. And across the ceiling, the sloping, slanting roof that makes the walls and the floor are sigils that Rhiannon has carved into the wood with the appropriate herbs and flowers, plants and potions she and Carmen made to contain her father, because he doesn't need to be running this house. He can have this corner of the attic until they deal with him, when the veils are more securely shut, as they should be.
And that is a valid concern to have, Rhiannon, with what is happening between planes and the ripple effects that that is causing. And were you at home, you would probably catch this immediately. You would feel the shifting and be closer to address it. Because it's almost like the foundation of the house shakes. And maybe that's in part because of what's happening in the backyard. What is happening in that pavilion. What has already happened with that doorway being open. Maybe it's because of that. Maybe it's because of other factors, but those bottles of potions, there's enough to where the glass cracks. The contents start to spill out. In the sigils and the wards that have been put up, tiny, minute cracks that could so easily be caught if you could be there and run up to reinforce them. They start to form. And something is able to reach through and give your father the push that he needs.
Hey. Who?
Something is able to reach through. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
It's
it.
that fucking bitch, isn't it? It's the same, isn't it? This mother.
And we get to see this as the audience. But as those wards start to crumble, the potion's literally turning to dust. The sigils fading. Your father stands to his full height. Almost stretches, rolls his shoulders, smiles, and moves through the door to the attic into the rest of the house. Rhiannon, you are not there, but in that moment, as everything you have built to contain your father's ghost in there falls apart, you feel it. And you feel the hair on the back of your neck stand on end. It doesn't hurt, and I think that almost surprises you, because with this sort of catastrophic damage to something you are tied to, it should hurt. But all you feel is that recognition of these barriers, these sources of protection are no longer in place.
Hey. Standing next to Octavia, because Octavia felt my hand burn too. Carmen and Elise were near us.
We're getting drinks, baby.
We're taking shots.
What's that
We're
like?
just broing
Who
out.
gives a fuck? Not our problem.
We're broing out. We're checking out the sick lights that are happening on the veranda, y'all.
Oh, there's that's just a normal night in London, I suppose. Octavia, do you see Carmen and Elise anywhere by any chance?
Is your hand okay? That was really hot.
It was really hot. That hasn't happened before.
Melted my skin. That's.
Are you all right?
Octavia's using her other hand to try and sort of freeze over the burn. It'll be fine, probably.
I'm so sorry.
It's not. It's new. It's fine. Don't. No apologies. It's not. It's fine. Are you okay?
Yeah. Rhiannon takes her glove off to check her palm where the scar is, and it's probably the first time Octavia is seeing the star-shaped scar on her palm. Does it look any different?
Looks like it always does.
Okay.
You have been busy since the last time I saw you, huh?
Yes, I got that about a month ago. I got a bit reckless when we were in hell, but that was not hell. I think that was... Can I tell what that energy was, or what, like, from the brief moment I held 3 different energies of planes in my hand, or nar?
I think that is fair to make a roll with dark.
Yee. Okay. My best stat. Okay. 12.
Incredible. Were those the Rhiannon dice?
They were the ones I put out during the eclipse.
Eclipse
6 out of 4.
Rhiannon! Yay!
Everybody clap for Steph's dice.
Thank you. So pretty.
And so, Rhiannon, you're running your fingers over that scar, and you're thinking of that moment when you did something impulsive, when you brought a piece of heaven into hell. And the thing is, you've never felt overly connected, certainly not to heaven. I suppose hell is a little debatable, given some of the things that have happened around you.
No.
But I wouldn't worry about that. It's fine. Don't worry about that. But in terms of heaven, you felt it in that brief moment as you used your powers to plant a tree that should never have been brought to hell. And you feel the echoes of that. And not only are you able to recognize the source of whatever just happened is connected to heaven, you're feeling through the soles of your feet, almost like you're being pulled down. That connection to hell. And you're feeling that fragments of that energy were left there. And I think you realize in this moment, you are the only person who could recognize that because you were the one who did it.
Oops. Okay, my impulsiveness continues to haunt me, among other things. Something or someone just came out of heaven to the palace. I hope it was an envoy for totally, completely boring reasons. I need to find, sorry, I felt the wards break in my house. I need to find, Carmen and Elise and give them a little heads up.
Dorian's back. We can fight. They're probably around here somewhere, getting drinks, I think, last.
I think so. Where we're just scanning the ballroom. I'm assuming most of the attention is currently on the light out of heaven, so it's kind of, well, they're on the veranda, so they're not even in the ballroom anymore, right?
It sounds like they are not. It sounds like they have decided to take some air. So yeah, you look around and like everyone's eyes are on what just happened. Carmen and Elise are not immediately in sight.
Okay. It's a big party. They're here somewhere. Did you feel anything else when that happened just now, Octavia?
Did I? Aside from getting a 3rd-degree burn?
I'm sorry. Oh my god. Just burn the Queen of Fairy and the Fae estate. It's fine.
Yeah, the Wild Hunts aren't here for me.
That is a good question, JT, and I think as Rhiannon says that, you were distracted by the fact that the exact antithesis of what you are, that heat coming in to what is normally cold for you. You found yourself a little bit distracted, and you're not sure if this happened in that moment that the light appeared, or if it's happening now, and it's hard because it almost feels like an echo. But you know the sound of the horn being blown to signal that the Wild Hunt is riding.
I felt something, all right.
And you're hearing that now.
Good. Sure. Why not? Right?
A lot of everything happening at once again.
We should find Elise. Well, you should find Carmen. I think maybe I need to warn my fellow engagees that we have visitors on their way.
Yep, I will go find them first, and you can tell me what that means when I find them. Yes, I will be.
I'll explain.
Okay. I'll return with them to the ballroom, and Rhiannon will just take off, starting to like, where are they? Until she catches sight of them through like a window or door to the veranda.
And Octavia will go find the to-be-weds.
And I think we'll stay with you for a moment, Octavia. And so Sorrel and Delphine had both returned to their seats as they had been receiving guests. And so they are seated there. You can tell, though, that the Kings of the Autumn Court have caught what you did, as they are both conferring with each other.
Yeah, she will present herself to them and to the kings. I think we have a matter of discussion regarding a certain new visitor to the material. That may be best if the party were adjourned early, given the current state of things.
And there is a moment of tension that you see as you say this, Octavia, where King Nightshade's red eyes narrow at you, and he seems to be about to say something when King Hemlock just reaches over, puts a hand on top of his, and you can tell that they are doing perhaps telepathy or just the silent type of communicating that two people who know each other really well can do. And you see that King Nightshade relaxes the slightest bit, nods, and King Hemlock looks at you and says, I think that would be wise, Queen Frostpin. We will convene in the study.
I appreciate that. I will be bringing my retinue as well, just as a forewarning.
And that is acknowledged, just with a nod, nothing else. But the party is very quickly coming to an end, which I think perhaps makes it a bit easier for you, Rhiannon, to track down the frat boys doing shots out on the veranda. As many people are starting to clear out in the wake of what just happened and the fact that the party is officially coming to an end.
What scene do I find on this veranda? How many sheets to the wind?
I like to imagine, if I may, there's some sort of like ogling over, you know, the light show that we've all just seen going a little bit nuts. Unclear if the lads have been, you know, drinking or just are like this. I think
there's some enabling here.
There's some enabling, and there's also just like the inherent energy that these two have when they're together. It is unclear if they have been drinking at all, but like the vibes are there. I think Elise has like a very
in a long time.
We haven't had bro night in a while. This is long overdue. I feel like Elise has sort of probably at some point tried to like take out she keeps a little sketchbook in her little reticule all of the time because that's who she is as a person. It brings her joy. Has taken that out and started to like try to map out where all of these little lights are throughout London, like where things are starting to like pop off. And I imagine there's been some sort of enabling going back and forth. Like, is this like conspiracy theory, like trying to connect the dots? Like, what does this look? Does that look like you're seeing the shit? Does that look like a? There's no way.
I think meanwhile, while you're drawing this out, Carmen definitely asked for a piece of paper as well, and is nodding along to what you're saying, but is just like trying to draw, not an artist at all. Trying to draw like a picture of Rhiannon, being just thinking like, oh, she's gonna love this. It's so good. It's so cute. Bad. It's terrible. It's a stick figure. It's terrible. He's like, this is honestly the best I've done. Yes, no, that it's sure it looks like it's coming from over the hill. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, a little bit curly here.
At least just like turning back, like, does this look? If you connect the dots, it kind of looks like a horse, or maybe oh Lord, like.
Do you think it's Douglas?
I think Douglas made a light show over London.
I mean, he's not here.
Last I heard, he had other plans. I don't know that this is of the level that he was sort of after for the afternoon, although I'm not entirely sure. The day may have gotten away from him.
Do we truly know his power? What is he capable of?
I mean, how well can you know anyone, really?
I suppose that's true. That's quite good.
That's quite good, too. You got the flowers, even.
Thank you, yeah.
Are those supposed to be crocus?
If you do 5 just really quickly like this, it just... It comes out pretty nice.
The speed really aids you in the smoothness of the lines, I think. People overlook that.
Carmen, Elise, are you out here?
Brennan, yes.
Right.
Did you see that?
Yes. Something seems to have come out of heaven. At least one thing. I'm not sure what else is going on tonight.
It's about damn time.
What?
Well, we were sort of, the palace was sort of expecting. I don't know how much of this I'm allowed to tell you.
I'll forget it. Octavia, we should regroup with Octavia. They said they felt like someone was coming, and there wasn't really time to elaborate. So
right.
Maybe we should not split up.
Is something wrong? Are you all right?
My scar kind of burned when that happened. That's how I know that was someone, an envoy, maybe an envoy, who knows, coming out of heaven, maybe to visit the palace.
Immediately grabs your hand to
it's not burning now. It burned Octavia a little bit. She said it was fine. They said so. They were icing it over. I didn't mean to. They were assuring me, but I don't know if they were just being polite, or not wanting to make a scene in front of the Fae, because she's a queen. And
well, does it hurt? Are you all right now?
I felt my warts break in the attic at my house.
Oh, we should go.
Well, we should. I just want to check with Octavia first about what else is happening tonight, because it seems like there's a lot of things happening tonight.
Are you sure you want to wait?
Go to the estate. I will find Octavia. I will bring her there. Is that?
Oh yes. Are you okay by yourself, Elise?
I'm fine.
Okay. I will see you later, potentially, hopefully.
Yeah. Go.
Okay.
Shore your wards.
Yep. Yes, that would. Because my father's in the attic. Okay. I'll see you later.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Immediately
does not let go of your hand, by the way.
Yeah, good. She was just reaching and it's just kind of like looking it down the veranda to where the carriages are, and it's just kind of like, we need to go now. Yes, sorry. Party's leaving early. We need to go.
Find Octavia, I guess.
Yes, I was going to say, we're going to leave the two of you getting into the carriage, getting ready to head back to the Carewood estate. And we are going to follow Elise as they track down Octavia, which again is becoming easier by the moment because so many people are filing out.
And I imagine Octavia was getting a hold of Lord Cole Helix traditionally, and just sort of appraising them of the situation.
Yes, you see Octavia and Helix standing close together, talking quietly, kind of a little off to the side where they're able to get a level of privacy. And I would imagine, Octavia, you have enough control over your ice powers at this time that I would imagine you're sort of able to almost create like a little bit of a soundproof booth around you and Helix to talk.
Been practicing.
Well, that must be them. I don't know who else would do such a thing. I think Elise sort of walks up to it, not entirely sure how to, just sort of like breathes on it, scrubs, tries to like make a little like clear the ice a little bit, knocks.
Octavia will dispel enough of it and will. Elise, glad of you to join us. I imagine Rhiannon and Carmen made headway for their estate. Okay, good. I was just appraising Helix here of the situation. We heard the horn of the wild hunt blow when that interloper crashed into the palace. I would very much appreciate it. I don't know if you came here with an escort or what your situation is, but I couldn't let you just leave alone. If you would like to accompany me as my retinue with Lord Cole here to the study so that we can discuss this, and then I will personally escort you back to the palace.
Right, sure. Is this the I don't know enough of the hunt to know how urgent this is. Rhiannon has gone back to the estate with Carmen. Is that something that you would be able to help with?
It's the
I guess you
nature of
are.
the situation.
Wards breaking. There's a ghost, I think.
Octavia will sort of turn to Helix. Do I know ghosts? Am I ghosts? Are we ghosts? Can we do that?
Are we?
We are not ghosts.
Right.
We can perhaps help with ghosts.
That might be a sidetrack thing after we adjourn quickly. It shouldn't take too long. Probably just going to be, hey, why is the wild hunt here? We don't know. We'll find out when they hunt whoever they're hunting. It shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, yes, of course. Is this something that I'm privy to, or should I wait outside?
Should be fine. I told them I was bringing my retinue. I didn't specify that you weren't in my retinue.
Oh my god, I'm in her retinue. Yeah, at least we'll sort of just fall into step beside Octavia, like sort of taking up the air of an advisor, which seems oddly practiced at this point. Lead the way.
Octavia will make head for the study.
And I think we're going to leave the two of you, well, the three of you, as we include Helix in that for a moment, as we join Rhiannon and Carmen in the carriage heading back to the Carewood estate. I'm curious what the conversation between the two of you looks like as you're heading back there.
I think Carmen is trying to reassure Rhiannon to the best of his abilities, just holding her hand in his and kind of stroking it gently. And then just saying, I'm sure it's all right. I mean, not to be, we've taken care of your father before.
We have, and he's a ghost this time. He's not what he was, so it should be more. It should be simpler this time. If he hasn't, I don't think he can leave the house. Can he leave the house? The house has warts on it. We'll find out.
If he did, where would he go? What would he do?
Who knows? There's many issues with the veil. He could just. That's going to make me paranoid. He could be anywhere.
No, I just mean he has no allies. He has no plan, as far as we're aware.
Other than revenge on us, perhaps?
He can certainly try.
He's a ghost. He's a ghost, and we're not ghosts. And we put him. We contained him to the attic. We can contain him back there again.
We ate him, and then we contained him when he returned.
Yes. Yes. If we have to exorcise him, well, we could try that and just hope he doesn't find a way back through. It is theoretically harder for a ghost of a person to come through, but he did it the first time, but that's because of door I opened by accident. And
I'm sure it will be all right. We're on our way. You are an extremely powerful witch. And I'm here to support you.
You are very brave to do this with me, Carmen. I think I might have caused a bit more of a problem than I meant to a month ago. In hell on our way out.
You mean the tree?
Mm-hmm. The tree. When I I behaved very rashly out of anger.
It's all right.
I mean,
What is...
when whoever came out of heaven,
Which, let me just say, they're expecting someone from heaven and they didn't turn to you. That's quite rude.
Rand just kind of laugh at that, just kind of a thank you. That's I felt a pull from hell. I don't think we took care of the trees entirely as we thought. I think some part of it is still there.
Someone came from heaven and you felt a pull from hell.
I think it's because I put the tree there, even as brief as it was. I think it's because of the injury I got when I did it, because that was a lot to hold, and it's not supposed to do that. Yeah, I think that was a response because there's a piece of what I put into that tree still in hell, and it shouldn't be there because it's from heaven.
I see. I'm not sure is that going to be a problem?
I don't know. I just know those two genuinely don't go to each other's territories.
Carmen.
Well,
Carmen.
Okay. Yeah, what's up?
So you're having this conversation with Rhiannon, and they're talking about what is left in hell, and you ask that very valid question, is this going to be a concern? I mean, Rhiannon seems concerned, and you just feel this sense of almost peace. Why would that be a problem? It's a fragment of heaven. What power does heaven have? It couldn't do anything in hell, and if it is still there, well, demons came from somewhere. Perhaps those fragments are meant to still be there. You're not concerned.
Truly, Rhiannon, let's focus on your father.
Right.
A fragment of heaven in the domain of hell seems like one outweighs the other. If those who live in hell have a problem with the tree, then I'm sure they can handle it. And I think we have more important issues.
Yes, the immediate problem right now is my father. After we deal with that, I should perhaps write to the new seneschal about that issue. Maybe that's something she can handle in her role.
Right. I'm sure we'll be able to handle it.
I'm sorry to bring up that memory for you.
No. It's quite all right. It doesn't bother me anymore. It's in the past. And we've come back a lot stronger. So truly, I should be thanking you.
Carmen, do you know where that, again, not to bring up an unfortunate memory, do you know where that silver collar is? That it occurs to me that perhaps it would be good to have on hand with my father, if worse comes to worse.
Remind me, I think it's in, I think I have it.
You don't want to tell Rhiannon that, Carmen. You feel this sensation of your stomach dropping, and maybe it's the memory of the betrayal of your own brother fitting that collar around your throat. but you know you have it, and you're pretty sure that they're your words, though you don't feel yourself speaking. You don't think through them before you say them. When you just kind of laugh and tell Rhiannon that isn't something that would work on a ghost.
Are you so sure?
Quite sure. And even if it did, I got rid of it.
Oh, of course. I mean, if it was still somewhere I could return it to the new seneschal, I assume that's probably something that would need to be put back under lock and key. But if you don't have it, it's probably in hell, I suppose.
It wouldn't work.
Okay, if you're sure.
So let's come up with a new plan.
Rand just kind of leans forward and just like grabs Carmen's hand between her two and is just like, I'm sorry. I know that's hard for you to even hear mention of. I'm sorry.
Nothing to apologize for. You were not the one who latched it around me.
Right. I have my tools and ingredients in my room. I don't know if that's been compromised, but I have some in my bag, so we will assess the situation once we are at my estate.
You say the word. I will do what I can.
Thank you. I know you will.
And as we continue to move to the Carewood estate, Carmen, I don't know how much this realization sinks in, but that feeling of hurt, that feeling of betrayal, that feeling of anger, that's the most emotion you felt in a long, long time. Almost like it broke through some of those cracks. And it fades pretty quickly, and your attention is also otherwise occupied. But that realization that you could feel lingers even as the carriage moves onto the Carewood estate, and you see that it is entirely shrouded in mist. That any lights in the house are dark. And there is the sound almost like whispering, though maybe it's just the wind moving through the branches of the trees. Most notably, it's not only the lights in the house that are dark. I would imagine, as it is autumn, that Rhiannon would ensure that there are carved gourds with candles inside of them. You know what it means when all of those lights go dark. We're going to leave the two of you there and go back to a much more brightly lit location as Queen Octavia Frostpin leads her retinue in to meet with the Kings of Autumn and their child, Sorrel, and Sorrel's betrothed, Princess Delphine.
Sorry to keep everyone so long. I just had to collect the retinue, as this will probably very much pertain to them as well. Lord Helix Cole, my royal advisor, and Miss Clarendon.
And there is certainly a bit of a raised eyebrow at Miss Clarendon's presence, but this is your retinue, and the other regents are not going to question your choice in advisors. King Hemlock has been taking a moment. There is a book he's been looking at, though he closes it once you enter, slides it somewhat behind him, and says, well, we all are aware of what happened, and then pauses, recognizing that not everyone is aware. Have you had a chance to inform the others, Queen Frostbin?
Not yet. No. It happened rather fast, and I'll get a communication out as soon as we're able.
This is certainly unusual, but not unprecedented.
Forgive a new queen her questions, but I can't say that I personally recall the Wild Hunt ever making their way to the mortal realm for anyone.
And it's King Hemlock who speaks next. And looks unsurprised as he says, you are quite young, Queen Frostpin.
Let not my age fool you. I am versed in many other topics, but the Wild Hunt was never a prominent aspect of my education. It was highly specialized.
The Wild Hunt is here to keep some semblance of order. It is not surprising that they would be riding right now.
Again, forgive me. I feel as though Fairy has presented quite the front of order since things have returned to a sense of normalcy. Seasons are moving as they should. We are all attempting to make merry. The only things that seem out of balance in their entirety are in hell. What business does the Wild Hunt have there?
And it is actually Sorrel who speaks up and says, I do not imagine that the Wild Hunt has any focus on hell, but it would not be the first time a lack of order in fairy spilled over into the mortal world. I would imagine that there is someone, perhaps several someones, that the Wild Hunt is seeking out who have perhaps escaped here.
I see. One last bit of business then. Are the Wild Hunt generally peaceable to sharing information should it come to a prominent figure? I'd like to be prepared to interface with them if necessary.
And King Nightshade studies you for a moment. Are you looking for what decorum would dictate?
Sure.
The Wild Hunt is not tied to any court. They do not recognize sovereignty. I would recommend you do not consider attempting to give them any orders.
I'm not really one to give orders anyway. I appreciate the advice nonetheless. I'm sorry if my concern caused panic, and especially so if it ruined the party. I will make it up to you in due course. I have a very special idea for a wedding gift, for what it's worth. But I have seen much of history in the last year, so I am a bit on edge, and I ask that you forgive me that.
And King Hemlock says, your apology is accepted, and your promise is as well.
Very good. If you would ask nothing of me, then I must escort my retinue to their respective businesses.
And there are appropriate formalities befitting each of your stations exchanged, of course. And you are able to step away into what is now not a completely empty ballroom, because there are still other Fae of the Autumn Court helping to clean things up. There is all of that happening, but there are not as many guests as there were, and it is easy to make your way towards the front door.
Miss Clarendon, I hope I was not overstepping by offering to accompany you back to the palace, but it seems we will be accompanying you to the Carewood estate instead.
That seems to be the most prudent course of action.
Yes, and on the way over, in the privacy of Helix and I's company, I will appraise you of anything that you are not aware of but should be regarding this wild hunt.
I would much appreciate that, my queen.
Octavia's fine.
Yes, but queen has such a nice ring to it.
I already have to listen to it from my people, I insist.
So be it. Crown does suit you, though.
I thought so.
Before we go, I do believe I have been a terrible guest. I have neglected to deliver my engagement gift. I will meet you in the carriage, yes?
Pray make it back quickly. I would hate for something to happen to you in the 2 minutes that's going to take.
I think I can manage 2 rooms.
I believe in you more than you know. I'm sorry. Felix.
Like there is like a reach for her hand and a squeeze, and then she will, briskly walk away. There's a gift up to the court if they are there to receive it in person, or if this is left amongst the pile of gifts that are probably somewhere. But it is addressed as if it is from the Palace TM. Like it's not like signed Elise, it's like signed like as if it is like a royal gift or something. And it is, as expected, a canvas, but it's not framed or anything. It's rolled, and it is essentially somewhere between a blueprint and a map of the fairy accommodations on the mortal realm. As much would be public knowledge, or plus what little Elise has seen. So it's sort of like an illustrated sort of blueprint situation, and there's embellishments are taken, of course, bits of fall foliage, bits of spring flowers, things that would represent the union there. In the what would be the gardens are all illustrated and watercolored and stuff and very fancy. But it is accurate, I will say, as much as it could possibly be. It is my duty to make sure that gift gets left. So,
and there is no one to receive it, as the sovereigns had withdrawn to the study, so it is simple to place it amongst the rest of the gifts to be seen. And we're going to just pan away just a little distance for a moment. What I'm imagining here is, Elise, you have knelt to place the present amongst the others. We see you rise and turn, going to join Octavia. Octavia, you are standing outside with Helix, awaiting the carriage, preparing to move out and head to the Carewood estate. And you catch sight right near the entrance to the fairy estate. You see two large shapes. 2 horses, almost of the same height, standing side by side. One with a rider on it. And you can't make out any features from the distance you are at, but you know that something looks wrong about that rider that is sitting there. Because what you can't see is that seated in front of the wild hunt on their steed is Jo. And there is a knife pressed to her throat. And that is where we're going to take our break. My cast is going to kill me. We're going to be back in 10 minutes. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Through your microphone, JD. That's how bad you're going down.
JD, turn your location on. I just want to talk.
That's my best friend, you monster, you
Get in the
animal.
fucking comments.
Get in the
She's
comments.
still dark as self, JD. Elise is still dark as self. What are you doing?
I am well aware.
I mean, I'm being
so
perfectly
well aware.
civil and normal on this beautiful day.
Get
Only
outside.
friend in the entire world.
Everyone is having a normal one. Everyone's having a normal one.
You burn the queen once and you're not
Carmen's
friends.
like-
It's like emotions gonna ignore that.
Relationship with the Winter Court ended. You burned my hand. I hate you again.
Fuck, all the growth gone.
Friendship ended with Octavia.
With
Now
that,
knife
we'll be
to
back
Jost
in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere, everyone.
I need to move something so that this light doesn't like get in my eyes. Okay, hopefully that fixes things a little
We're
bit.
back on dancing. Yay.
Face.
We got some quotient for
The
the
face
babe.
of defeat.
She's
The face
upsetty
of
spaghetti,
violence.
my guys.
Oh,
I just want to hear
She
that
hates me
squeak
so much right
again.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, disgruntled.
I think the noise gate tragically prevented me from hearing that time.
No.
That's my favorite thing. Yes!
Can we get a wave going in the comments?
Yeah. Look at her go.
Oh, baby.
She's so perfect.
She's pretty perfect, and now she is upset at me so much.
That's my third favorite
big
cat,
mad.
everybody.
Wah?
Oh, big mad.
Can I get a win? No, she's fresh out of win.
Buddy.
Take her to the
Oh, Vance,
left.
we're really in it now.
Gripping, dude. She's
Once
she's
gripping.
Uh-huh.
She likes to just snuggle.
Oh, that's so cute.
She knows that JD's about to commit crimes that me and those I care about. So
Mhm. Mhm.
Come to emotionally
mean-
support.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have never done anything
Uh-huh.
wrong ever in my life.
get in the comments.
And that's fact.
In the comments.
And that's fact.
Hey Bansa,
Literally, let me see.
she says get in the comment.
Hey, Raph.
What's up?
Teacher's pet.
Raph always has my back.
He's the one that willingly just like accepts all negative. Oh, speaking of, hold on.
Oh.
Oh. She is
Even Vincent knows that's a crock of
mad.
bullshit.
I mean, yeah, Raph is biased given that they were just like, I always accept whatever horrible thing you're throwing at me,
Whatever
and I
Rammies.
invite you to make it worse. I make it worse.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
She's decided to hide my armpit. Hold on.
This almost makes up for the
Right.
hostage situation.
Almost.
You know,
I must release the beast.
Oh,
Oh.
goodbye,
Oh,
buddy.
no.
Big mad.
Oh.
Big mad.
Big cat, big mad.
Like
Emphasis on the
emphasis.
big. Yeah.
Big mad.
Can you sit, please? Oh, thank you. Okay.
Big
She,
wow.
she has been redacted in the background. I don't know if she's visible
Nice.
on camera, but she'll be here to witness all of JD's crimes against us.
And speaking of crimes, speaking of
Hey now.
crimes,
Hey now.
we're going to pick back up at the Carewood estate.
Woohoo!
Boy,
And
oh boy.
so the carriage is slowly making its way.
Slowly. I said go fast.
Slowly.
JD?
Well, I guess that's up to you, Rhiannon. How fast do you push the carriage as you move into the drive and you see that every light on the entire property, including those meant literally and figuratively to ward off the darkness, are gone.
Well, once we're on the property, they can slow down because I need to assess the absolute fucked situation I'm walking into. I'm gonna roll to keep my cool.
I think you should.
Thanks. Okay.
Raph, did you have something you wanted to throw out there as well?
Well, I was gonna say, would gazing into the abyss help? Kind of understand the mists and the situation, and or maybe that's having a secret.
So I get a new move.
Conversation. Oh hell yeah!
Oh boy. What do I get when I fail this shit?
So, I mean...
Does it say?
It does.
Nothing?
Well, I mean, you don't get much when you fail.
Great, so I just have no clue what the fuck is going on.
Rhiannon, what were you trying to avoid by keeping your cool? What does Rhiannon do?
Rhiannon was trying to avoid drawing attention to them before she could figure out what was going on. So I'm assuming it's something like I'm leaning against like the window trying to appear and the door just opens and I fall on the ground right out the carriage. Or something more awful than that.
More awful. I have a feeling
I can tell by his face. Awful. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. I can tell.
Okay, so you were trying to avoid drawing attention to yourself. You were trying to take your time to, as you said, assess the situation. And I think it makes sense that you fail this role because as you pass through the boundary onto the property, what goes through Rhiannon's head and what does she feel as she experiences the same feeling that she would every time her father appeared at her door?
Just the sense of like her skin frosting over, like not like the gradual like oncoming of winter, but more like when you're on the ice and it cracks beneath you and then you get dunked in it, the water underneath. Just kind of this instant like seizing of the lungs, forgets to breathe for a moment, chill down the spine, and just can feel like prickles on the back of her neck. And just this sinking sense of dread. She doesn't know what's next.
And I think that there's almost a moment with that because unlike before, you are not trapped in that room. You have the ability to leave. You could turn this carriage around right now and not have to experience any of this. But your father's presence is not the only thing you feel. You have felt that demonic presence before. And so I think what ultimately happens is you throw caution to the wind. You are no longer taking it slow. You are, as you'd said, why is the carriage going slow? It is not. You are driving that carriage forward and you are letting your presence be absolutely known. And you are not protecting yourself or Carmen in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm. My father's definitely out. And that demon is here. Carmen.
What demon?
Zazel? Father Adams is here?
No, that's impossible.
No, I felt him. He's back. Maybe he let my father out. I'm not mistaken. I know what he feels like. I just want to warn you because it's very dangerous for both of us right now, and I don't want anything to happen to you.
It's dangerous. I think we need to take a breath. I know you are angry and afraid.
Yes.
It's all right to feel these things. But if we want to stay safe, then we must proceed with caution. And we must stay level-headed. I want to make sure that nothing happens to you. What we find in there might be difficult, but you're not alone. And I think he grabs her hand.
Rhiannon just pulls him in for a hug and just hugs them very, very tightly. And it's just like, I know. We'll just keep each other safe and we'll make it through this.
We will.
And in that moment, as you are embracing, as Rhiannon says that, Carmen, you feel the gentle, paternalistic hand of Father Adams on your shoulder, and you hear his voice whisper in your ear, "Have no fear, my son. We'll keep her safe."
Have faith, Rhiannon.
We should go. We shouldn't waste any time before things get worse. Are you ready?
Of course. Are you? I can go in there. Let you prepare.
Most of my tools and such are inside the building. What I have on me will have to suffice until we get to them. If we get to them. And if not, we will do what we can as quickly as we can.
We will get to them, Rhiannon, and nothing will happen to you.
Right. Just stay close to me, okay?
And you to me.
Of course. She'll just grab Carmen's hand and they will head into the building.
And Carmen, you had mentioned wanting to gaze into the abyss. Do you take a moment to do that before you step inside the house?
I think I do, only because actually my justification doesn't make sense, so I don't think I will. If it's true that Father Adams is present within the house, then we are even more than safe. So I have to keep my faith and trust, and everything will turn out fine.
And I think that makes sense, Carmen, because as you're reflecting on that, you feel very confident that if there is any information you need to know, anything that will help Rhiannon, anything that will keep Rhiannon safer, all you need to do is ask. And we're going to come back to our exorcism in just a moment. We are instead going to return to our hostage situation. Back at the fairy estate. And so, where we left off, Elise was about to be stepping outside. Meanwhile, Octavia had seen 2 horses, one with a misshapen looking rider on it, standing right at the entrance to the estate.
I think Octavia puts her hand on the hilt of Everfrost and is going to take a few tentative steps forward and address the figure. Hello? State your business if you would kindly.
There's no response.
Just going to keep approaching, at the very least. I would appreciate if you would let my friend go. I assume that your business is not indeed with her.
You receive no answer from the hooded figure, but Joe, very calmly given the situation, asks you, "Where is Elise, Octavia?"
She was leaving a gift behind. She was going to meet me at my carriage momentarily. Joe, what's going on?
Octavia, I need you to do whatever you can to keep Elise calm.
I will try my best.
And Kit, you can give me your thoughts on this, but what I am imagining is Octavia has been having this conversation with Joe. You have stepped out, and of course, you have supernatural sight and hearing. And so, even though you are further back, you are able to clearly hear this conversation, and you are able to maybe not see things fully clearly, but enough that you are aware Joe is in danger. And I have some thoughts on what you might be about to do, but I would like you to tell me what Elise's reaction is in this moment.
So here's the thing. I think Elise could go about this one of 2 ways. And I'm a little bit torn on which. So perhaps we may make use of a keep your cool roll. Because that is, quite literally what's needing to go down here. There is, I think we're at this sort of silently stalking down the driveway situation, but that could change very quickly. That's about to change really quickly. That was a 5 with modifiers, so
it sure was. So
it's not great.
We're doing a great job keeping our cool tonight. Good job,
it's fine
everyone.
and normal. I'm so cool. I'm cold as hell. It's great.
Octavia's kept her cool this entire time. I don't know what you're talking about.
So let me sort of understand the sort of layout that we're working with here. We've got hunt lady, big hunt lady on a horse, Joe also on a horse, knife. Are there any other sort of hunt adjacent lads, or is it simply these two?
It is simply these two. You have a hooded figure who you have not seen or heard anything from, who is sitting on the horse, 21-hand one. You have Douglas.
Just too much horse.
That's
far too much horse, JD.
Is also like 21 hands because Douglas is fucking huge. Standing next to this other horse and rider, and you have Joe seated in front of this hooded figure, knife pressed to her throat.
So I think the move, oh no, this is about to be reckless and I'm going to hurt somebody and I don't want to do that, but
please do.
I mean, you said it yourself with your own mouth words, that I have, supernatural sense and perhaps speed. How quickly do you think I could get up? Maybe not on that horse, but adjacent to it.
I'll be honest, Kit, if you succeed on a lash out physically roll, I will 100% let you fully tackle this rider off the horse.
What is it? I mean, we can certainly try. That's not exactly what I would call my good stat, but that feels like the move. Yeah, I think
it does.
The move is to get in a threatening enough position to that fool that he has to think very carefully about what he's about to do to Joe.
And I'll give you a bonus of +1 to that.
Great, that negates my -1.
It sure does.
Thank you kindly. No whammies.
No whammies, all rammies.
Funny you should say that. These dice are going in jail because JD, that was snake eyes.
I mean, I wanted so badly to give that to you, but I think this makes so much sense because you are a young vampire going up against the wild hunt.
And I don't know who these fuckers are.
You don't. But they are the preeminent soldiers of Fairy.
Oops.
And so what I am imagining happens is there really isn't that much slowed down logical thought, Elise. You see Joe in danger. You see the second person that you care about in mortal peril. And you just react. You take off running in such a blur that Octavia can't even see you. And your eyes are only for this hooded figure. And you go to leap at them. And they're no longer there. You just crash down on the earth.
Not again.
And I think you do. You have that moment of, once again, someone I love is disappearing, but you realize you can still smell Joe. You realize immediately that she is not gone. You have spent enough time with her that you know her scent. And you have that moment of panic before you realize, no, they didn't disappear. They did move, and they did move faster than should have been possible. Octavia, you only see the blur before you see Elise come crashing down to the ground, I would imagine rolling into a crouch.
I think Octavia would definitely rush forward to meet Elise there and offer to help her up. Miss Clarendon, you have to be careful with these people.
She smacks your hand away. Where did they go?
Did I see where they zipped off to?
Yeah, it's not far. They only moved, honestly, a matter of feet. And you realize when they moved, the hood on the rider fell back. And you'd initially thought that maybe there was just shadow there because it was so dark and smoky from what you could see. But what you actually see is a young man. He has hair that looks bark-like. Like you see the texture, and it's not just a deep chestnut. It looks like it is bark itself. And his eyes are glowing the same fiery red as the horse's. But most notably, the arm that he is holding the knife with, as the cloak kind of slides back fully, you realize that it's made entirely of silver. And he is staring directly at Elise with a confused expression.
Elise, now is not the time to be rash. Your friend is in danger. That's silver. And Octavia will step as in front of Elise as she feels can cover her without letting Elise lose sight of Joe, and will draw Everfrost. Your business is not with her. Release her immediately, please. Whatever you want with Elise, you could take it up with me.
I think that I would like to have you roll to shut someone down.
Sure.
Roll with cold.
Hey, can I roll with hot instead, maybe? That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Are you trying to turn them on?
If I say...
That's your dad,
yes,
dude.
That's not my dad. That is not my father. All right, we roll with a minus. What's that? That's a 9? What does a 9 do?
A 9 means you come across poorly, and they give you a condition in return.
Okay.
And I think it makes sense because what I am imagining happens in this moment. So you can gain a string on them, or you can give them a condition, or you can take one against them moving forward.
How about I take one against them moving forward?
Okay. So I think it makes sense that you come across poorly in the sense of you have been told the Wild Hunt do not take well to orders. And you, as a queen, saying what you just did may not have been intended as an order, but it is certainly received in that way. And I think you get the condition insecure because you're realizing that you have no idea how to handle these aspects of navigating Fae society. But and the figure looks at you, narrows his eyes, and you, the reason you feel insecure, Octavia, is because there is a moment where you can see this could have been a simple negotiation. In fact, if you had had the right words, this could have been over. But something in what you just said changed it because you could almost see, you saw the knife start to lower a tiny bit. You saw the shoulders start to relax, but then went right back into that posture, and the figure just says, "Who are you to tell me what my business here is?"
I am Queen Octavia Frostpin of the Winter Court. And if any assumption serves me correctly, I am the one you're looking for.
I love that. What do you do, Elise?
That is a good question. I don't know that Elise is doing physically much of anything. Because I think if she moves, she's going to make bad decisions again. So she needs to put her thoughts in a little box before she commits to doing an action. And I think what that looks like is, so I think it arguably gazing into the abyss. I think what Elise is doing is seeking out where Joe has ended up, and like finding out scent wise, vibes wise, where that is, locking on it. And it may be very hushed conversations that they're sort of having over this distance with their goofy vampire hearing. It might just be, trying to read into the vibes and the magic. I want to see, I don't know, I need to get like Joe's thoughts on this or some understanding of what happened to get us to this point. Like, she's looking for any sort of information to inform this decision because all she has in her head right now is attack.
Yeah, I would like you to roll with dark.
Cool. Do I get my juice pouch bonus, right?
You do. Yep, I will give you your juice pouch bonus.
I had to double check that was on the list. So that is a 9. I'll take it.
And I'm actually, in this case, going to give you a +1 to that, making it a 10 because of Douglas's presence as well.
He's a good horse-shaped entity.
And so, Elise, you are already able to see Joe. And so it's really a matter of looking over at her and locking eyes. And you've never done this before, but you know that some vampires are able to communicate telepathically. And this becomes a conversation that you lock eyes, and I think just instinctively would say Joe's name, and you would hear her respond and say, I'm okay. Just stay calm. We're figuring this out.
Not fast enough. How did they get you? What do they want?
He wants you, or he wanted you. His thoughts are very confusing right now. He was looking for you, and he somehow knew that I was important to you. He is older than I am. Much older than I am. But he could have hurt me, and he didn't.
What does he want with me? I didn't know he existed until now. Does he wish to hurt me?
He wishes to bring you back to Fairy.
What do you mean back?
I think that's a question all three of us are asking ourselves. And I think that's the moment where you hear Douglas also in your head say, do you want me to bite him?
No. No.
Do you want me to bite his horse?
No, not yet. Hold for now. Just sort of like, how is Douglas doing this? Hold on. Is Douglas a vampire? I didn't bite him. So like it wasn't okay. All right. There's so much mental math happening, I think, that is enough to sort of like break her out of this doom spiral. Like, there's a horse in my head. Right. The real world is fucking weird. I think Elise will stand up at that. Sort of put a hand on Octavia's shoulder and sort of walk past her.
Please.
If you want me to come with you, a simple invitation would have done. Let my friend go. Staring directly at the fool who's got Joe.
And he looks almost frustrated. Why do you look like them when you are not them?
You're going to have to be a bit more specific. Who do you think I am?
Octavia, do you choose to say anything at this time?
JD, I have two options here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Yeah, Octavia, I'm listening.
Octavia, pretty fond of Elise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't want Elise to get dragged to ferry for something that she didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that would be bad and wrong. On the other hand, she did make a promise, and this is arguably a veritable danger from like a meta standpoint. But Tavia doesn't necessarily know that these guys are dangerous. She understands maybe they are, but I only promised if I knew there was a certain danger standing in her way. And how can I possibly be certain of this as a young, naive queen, right? So, you know, I'm a little torn between potentially being a promise breaker and letting my friend get kidnapped. But I think down to the long and short of it, I'm gonna break the promise.
Okay. How are you gonna do that?
He thinks you are Emery. The Winter Court.
Then he's got a poor eye.
Not so. About a month ago, I was sent to Ferry with my sister, Lady Primer, and you appeared there with us. Admittedly, I was confused, but comforted by your presence, and of course, once again, I am all but the fool here, as it was recently revealed to me that the woman I thought I had promised to protect no matter what was indeed not you.
I think Elise will sort of turn properly to Octavia a bit, still keeping, you know, everybody in eyesight, right? But, well, that is quite sweet. I don't believe the fool in this to be you. Glances back at the rider. Seemed you were quicker to question my identity than our esteemed hunter here? I think she'll take a step towards them, the horses and the riders. Seems like you may need a bit of help with your tracking. Is that so? I think we could be of some mutual assistance. Don't you agree?
Elise, there is something in your eyes, especially in this moment as you are darkest self, that speaks to the leader of the Wild Hunt. And
I'm absolutely trying to turn this full on, 100%.
I will give you a +2.
Woohoo!
I think this whole time just like stalking towards the horses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna roll. I think Octavia's just flat blushing.
That's I believe that's what we call a 13. Just sort of up to the point. You said these two are on Douglas, yes?
No, on
or
Douglas
no, they're on
standing,
a different.
Yep,
a Douglas adjacent horse.
A Douglas adjacent horse.
Oh yeah. So yep. Elise is walking up to these fools, just chill as hell, but like stalking almost, and just sort of puts a hand out to let the horse sniff, gives him a pat, just not breaking eye contact with this hunter. I think we could be of some mutual assistance. No?
And he already has the knife lowering, and Joe is off in a blink. And he looks at you and says, I would very much like to hunt beside you. Perhaps we can be of assistance to each other in finding our mutual quarry.
I think that would be splendid, don't you, Octavia?
Elise, I would be careful which Fae you're making promises to.
I have yet to promise anything.
You are this close.
That's where all the fun is.
Begging you to reconsider.
I have reconsidered, and I have considered that I would quite like to hunt the bastard who stole my face. And if this lovely fellow would like to come along with, that is their choice. I don't see a promise made, do you?
And the rider shakes his head and says, no, I think we just happen to be going on the same trail together.
Mutually beneficial. Where's the harm?
There are mountains upon mountains of harm that you cannot see in this.
I think I'm quite excited to see some of them. Will you be joining us, Octavia?
I don't think you understand. I can't. I don't know what this fellow intends to do to them, and if I find out, it's not good for me.
What would you like to do then?
I would like to let him know where last we saw them, and then I would like for us to go help our friends with their situation. Our business could only ever have been merely that.
I think it became our business when Emery decided to masquerade as a trusted ally and drag my name and my face, apparently through Fairy. If you would like to go help Rhiannon and Carmen, I would be happy to as well. I don't know, my skills would be of much use to them at the moment. I might be better suited to other things. You are queen. It is your call, is it not?
JD, I have a quick question that I would
What's up?
I'd quite like to be personally availed of.
Mm-hmm.
Let's like hypothetically, I don't stop this from happening.
Mm-hmm.
And hypothetically, it is technically a broken promise.
Mm-hmm.
What's one broken promise to the queen? Just like hypothetically.
Guess you'll have to find that out.
Wow, that's incredibly rude.
Wait, here's the thing. Above board, you can tell me no. I don't know that it'll work, but you can do it.
I'm actually gonna throw a little something else into the mix.
Oh, please do. Oh, please do.
As the two of you are having this conversation, the writer looks at you, Elise, and says, I wonder if there might be other ways we can help each other as well.
Oh, absolutely not.
You seem like someone who could benefit from a person who knows how to move through doors.
JD, I'd like to do something rash.
Please do.
I picked up a funny, goofy new power. Being the queen. And I think Octavia is just a little bit peeved at this guy now and is going to rush forward, put a hand on Elise's shoulder, and push them through to Fairy. Sorry in advance, everyone else.
Okay.
No, it's fine. Get that date night.
So the one caveat here is it says it has to be someone willing. Is Elise willing for this to happen?
Oh shit. Hmm. Hmm. I think she is. And I think that might come as a surprise, given the everything. But I think even if there is even like a split second of like sort of realization between Octavia grabbing her and them sort of disappearing and vanishing into a poof of glitter or whatever, I think there is a look at the writer and a grin. But she will go with Octavia.
And so I imagine a number of things happen in this split second. Octavia rushes forward. Elise, you have grown familiar with what it feels like when the veil between worlds thins and you move from one space to the other, and you can tell that Octavia is guiding you somewhere else, most likely to Fairy. Although you've never been there, this will be your first time in Fairy. But you have felt Fey magic enough that you have this sense that that is what is happening. And you meet the rider's eyes and you give him that look and you hear once again a voice in your head say, it's not my true name, obviously, but you can call me Niall. Call on me when you're ready. And then the scene in front of you is gone, and Miss Elise Clarendon, as her actual self, is now in Fairy. We're going to leave the two of you there to go into those wacky adventures.
Took 3 seasons, but we did it.
What is happening?
But we're gonna go back to the two of
Elisa's
you who are
Octa's stepmom, bro.
Niall's just coming for everything.
He's not my dad. Please.
He's just their parents' ex. It's fine. They're on good
Yeah,
terms.
it's fine.
They still have dinner.
Everyone's on good terms. So yeah, we'll get up to those wacky adventures.
It's okay. I'll put you in the will, babe. We gonna get you that inheritance, a stranger now.
My God. Incredible.
Impromptu date in our ballroom finery in Fairy. Oh my God, yes.
Nothing bad ever happens to one of Ross Pins.
Nothing bad.
Nothing bad ever
Nothing
happens
bad.
in Fairy. It's fine.
Oh, it's
Nothing
just,
bad ever happens in Fairy.
Yeah, it's just being hot all the time. What's to
We're
worry
just
about?
being hot. We're on our hot girl shit. Get with it.
Hot Girl Autumn. Let's go.
Hot girl, what season is it?
Excuse me,
I-
Hot Girl
autumn
Winter.
about-
Is it
Hot Girl Winter?
Yeah,
Hold
Hot Girl
on.
Winter.
It's autumn about to be
Hot Girl
spring.
Winter.
Like it's
Autumn
season's
about
got
to
published.
be winter. Yep. That is where we are at.
It's about to be my turn.
Ah.
oh shit.
Octavia
It
gonna run
is.
that house now.
Hold on,
And
let me
then what?
quickly clip that real quick.
Please, we can't keep doing this.
Yes, we can.
That was just so wonderful.
Oh my God.
And so,
Amazing.
Carmen and Rhiannon,
Yeah.
you are both trying to navigate an estate that has been taken over by darkness. What do you do as you approach the front door?
I think holding on to Rhiannon's hand. I think Carmen instinctively hearing Father Adams's voice, he reaches out for him within himself, if that makes sense. Kind of just a metaphorically grabbing onto him inside of their body, to just remind themselves that he is here and that at any moment he could just tug or like pull the string and then like get any answers or get some help.
And you feel that comforting presence reassuring you that that is exactly the case, that everything is going to be fine. Something must have gone very wrong here. Father Adam certainly has nothing to do with this. He was keeping an eye on things, but something slipped beyond what he was even aware of.
And if anything, if he's present here, it's because this happened and now he's going to help us.
Exactly.
So
Personally fucking with me.
So yeah, that's what Carmen does.
Rhiannon just strides into the house because failed that roll. Once this over with, once this handled, once this fucking gone. But she is not letting go of Carmen's hand because the demon's here. This is what she's been afraid of, and none of her wards against him have been working. So they've all been breaking. So this is like worst fears happening.
The house is saying that it is saying that it is in a state of disrepair actually fits. And I think you don't know in this moment, Rhiannon, whether this is what you're being made to see or whether this is destruction that your father actually caused, because everything looks faded and dirty and worn. There are claw marks, like something has gouged into the walls. It's cold. It is almost unbearably cold inside. You can see your breath misting in the air, and you can hear heavy footsteps in what was your father's study.
Let me get my tools first.
Do you want me to get them?
We're going to get them together. And then we're coming back down here and dealing with this. They're in my room. Just gonna try to hurry up the stairs. She also doesn't know whether that's a trap or not. It's like, I don't know if that's actually him or if it's this whole... It feels like he is deliberately messing with me.
Since we're unsure about what the reality is here, I think as we go to Rhiannon's room, Carmen is going to quietly call for Father Adams.
What do you say to him?
I don't think he says anything out loud because he doesn't have to anymore. But he is holding on tightly and says, Father, can a ghost truly create all of this chaos in such a short time? I need to know if this is real.
My son, a ghost certainly can with help. And he must have help to be casting such a powerful illusion.
How can I find out who is helping him?
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is ask, my son. Would you
want
like
to find
know?
out. Yes. Show me.
Carmen, Father Adams is going to take one more string on you.
Okay.
How many is that now?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, boo.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. You ask Father Adams this, and you feel once again just that warm, gentle, comforting hand on your shoulder.
He's guiding me.
You feel a bit of there's almost a sense of, I'm not sure if regret is the right word, but he is showing you this and he doesn't want to show you this. And I'll let you come to your own conclusions as to why that is, as first of all, you see the illusion disperse, and there has definitely been some damage done to the house, but nothing as extensive as it looks now. The house is cold, and it is deeply cold. That is true, but you know that the amount of energy a ghost would need to cause that outright devastation is immense. And, well, Rhiannon's father has had help. It has not been enough to absolutely destroy the house. You do realize immediately that Rhiannon was right. Going into her room would have been a trap. That their father is not in the study. That is where someone else is walking, and it is the person who has been helping. It is the familiar form of Abraham Donatelli.
Stop.
Fuck you, you bit.
Carmen immediately.
This is lies. These are lies.
As I'm assuming as Rhiannon is like reaching for her door handle, he pulls her hand and says, "Rhiannon, wait.
What?
This is wrong. This is clearly where your father wants us to go. Where did he hurt you the most? Where did he lock you up?"
My room? Oh, you're right. I should have realized that first. I didn't.
It's okay. This is a unnerving situation. And there's someone else here.
Who? How do you know who's here?
I just have this feeling. I've been to hell. And I don't know if it's the ties in there or what. But my mind is being guided to Abraham.
But why would he? He never had. My father would not have dealings with him alive. Why?
I don't know. But he was a soul in hell, was he not? Perhaps they made some sort of deal there before he could come here.
Baby.
Sweet baby.
It could be, but right now I just want to get rid of my father, and then I can question why a prince of hell would suddenly involve himself in my affairs.
Either way, I don't think we can go to your room.
Of course
We
not.
know how dangerous he can be.
I can get the conservatory. I can get more plants from there. So at least I have something more than what I have on me. Or did he go there too?
You're pretty sure that he didn't go to the conservatory. Carmen.
Then it's safe there.
Okay. I can get more herbs and have that just before we go in there.
It gives us time to plan.
Yes, sorry, I just want him gone. I am being rash again. Conservatory, okay.
You know he plays these tricks on you.
I know.
He wants to hurt you.
I thought I would have gotten better at catching them this time, but
Your wounds are deep. That does not mean that they're not healing. He's trying to open them again, and we will not let him. But we must handle this carefully. He wants to show you that he's in control.
mm-hmm.
But he's not. You are.
Thank you for checking me. I'm glad I have your insight, Carmen. I would have walked right into his trap without it. Thank you for seeing what I wasn't able to in my fear. We'll just go to the conservatory and then we will send him back, hopefully for good. And then deal with who or whatever is in the study.
Abraham.
And Carmen, as you and Rhiannon are walking hand in hand towards the conservatory, you hear Father Adam say, "Finally, my son, she is seeing you for who you are. And you are seeing her for who she is."
What is that?
You are seeing all of those cracks, all of that damage. You are seeing the places where they need to be healed. And we will do that, my son. We will fix her together. And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
Hey,
Get
what
your
the
fucking
fuck?
ass back in this episode, JD. What the fuck are you mean we're ending it there? What do you mean fix me? At least someone gets some dates at it tonight. Our date's going literally to hell.
Speaking of dates, this is supposed to be my date night with Steph, so that's going to be an interesting time.
We were going to have a date night after this, you fucking menace.
No. Spaghetti with a candle lit in silence.
Elise was so bad today, and she's getting rewarded for it.
Elise was on fire today, dude.
Elise was
Elise goes crazy, man. Elise goes crazy.
I'm just vibing and hanging and doing what's right for the greater good.
Taking a vacation.
That was absolutely sick.
I've always wanted to see Fairy.
Yeah.
Jealous Octa? Ooh.
Hey, come on now. Don't worry about that.
I mean, I think all of you stuck to the rule of keeping it feral. As you always do.
Good days.
But with that, we are going to do outros. I am going to then get to find out if Steph murders me. But starting with you, Kit, tell us the amazing things that you are doing, projects that you are a part of, cool things that are coming up.
Okay, I'm never prepared for this. I should one day I will be. Today's not that day. Hi guys. It's me. I'm Kit. You can find me most places at KitRoll or on Twitter while supplies last at KitRollCause. I apologize for the lighting. It is golden hour. It is beautiful. My window is not in a great position for that for streaming. Let's see. We're aside from doing shenanigans here and now, today in this place, you can find me every other Wednesday over on High Shelf Collective playing Beacons of Farlight. It is a post-apocalyptic-ish, I believe Jeet has described it as gross punk little game. It's delightful. We're using the beacon system. We're playing a game with a little AI. It's fine. I'm finding emotions and eating them. We're having a normal one. It's a delightful little game. Definitely check it out. On Thursdays, every other Thursday over on Entropy Emporium, you can check out Project Reach Extraction. I believe we are off this upcoming week, but then we will be back shortly. If you like cyberpunk, if you like dot hack, if you like shenanigans like that, that is a game for you. I play Galahad, a homegrown arena fighter who's been roped into some corporate espionage. It's fine and everything's normal. Let's see. Fridays and Saturdays, you're watching it, you're looking at it. We play this goofy little game, and nothing bad ever happens to the Frostmans. Every other Saturday you can check it out.
Happens in general. Like
it's true. Only good things have happened today.
Date night is fight night. Okay.
It has just been, it's been oops all date night today. It's been great. Nothing has gone wrong or bad at all. And we're going to keep that through the rest of the season. I'm certain of it.
Yeah.
I am absolutely positive. And despite how it might seem right now, it is not going to be David Lynch's 24 Regency edition. I promise, even though we've been stuck in the same night for at least 2.5 episodes.
You know, it's an important night. Sometimes we got to give it a little bit of space. I'm sure we'll get through this night unscathed.
Oh, I'm sure.
Our finery is getting wrecked.
Everything's fine and normal. Oh man, where even am I?
Fairy.
Oh, fairy. Apparently, happens to the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of where the heck am I? Every other Saturday over on Lost Caravan, you can check out Fatal Ascension. We're playing Fabula Ultima. I'm a little robot. It's what it says on the tin. It's a great little TTJ RPG, I believe is how you would call. It's a delightful little game. And then of course, as I must hype up, as I am contractually required, if you like magical girls, if you like queer narratives, if you like stories of hope amongst defeat, catch Bloom and Blight. We're back from hiatus, babies. We just had our hiatus break this past Thursday, so go check it out. If you're not caught up, go catch up. It's awesome. We're having a normal one. It's a Goofy Little Girl by Moonlight podcast that we do. And you can check out episodes wherever you get episodes of things. You can check out announcements, clips, goofy shenanigans on all of our socials at Bloom and Blight. And if you want cast and character information, transcripts of all the episodes, and a link to our zesty little Discord server for the podcast network, where we get sneak peeks of said clips and shenanigans and discussions of the episodes. I believe somebody's baking a cheesecake in the server that is vaguely related to the shenanigans are happening. If you want to be a part of that, check out the Discord. You can find all of those links at bloomandblight.com. I think that's all I've got. Somebody stop me from talking.
I will jump in, Kit, and I will jump us over to Steph.
Hi, I've been Rhiannon tonight. Starting to think something's a little sus, but maybe it's just the house, who knows? You can catch me usually here, but also at Entropy Emporium this Tuesday, actually, for the next episode of They Call Us Villains, where I'm playing Scylla. Doomed. Her moths live in her hair now and they're safe. There's nothing to worry about. No one saw her or anything. She's just having a good little time with her friends. You can also catch me every other Thursday in Redacted, our psychological horror game where we're all full of ghosts. I just got my last ghost, full set, baby. So that's from the cult timeline. It's going to be a normal one, I'm sure. And yeah, catch me back here with Rhiannon going through it with her boyfriend who supports her and she loves so much.
Rhiannon's having a normal one. It's so fine. Speaking of a normal one and it being fine, JT.
I am never going to financially recover from the mistakes this character keeps making. Hi.
It's the name of this game.
It's the name of the game. How many Rammies can we fit into this character? I'm up to 6.
I mean, you just got a date out of it.
Just got a date. Just like a cute little date in winter. I'm everywhere, man. You can find me on the internet at weebjeet or on Instagram at weeb_jeet because they wouldn't give me my regular username. I run Entropy Emporium. I'm the producer / head of programming over there. And by head of programming, I just mean I say yes to everybody that pitches a campaign at me because there are a lot of cool stories that need to be told. And you know what? Why not have a place to tell them? That is including the Call Us Villains, which was mentioned by one person here and will be mentioned by another person. So I'm not going to go too far into it. The other one, I'm in Project Reach Extraction with Kit, and it is run by Harp. If you like .hack, go watch it. It's really fun. I play an AI in that one. Fridays, we just wrapped up Lust and Dust, but next Friday, if you join the Entropy Emporium Discord, we're playing Content Warning Friday night for community night. Just like a nice little scary evening. And then while we're social medias for Entropy Emporium, because we're about to announce a game, if you like Neon Genesis Evangelion and Pacific Rim and also Girl by Moonlight, you're probably really going to like what we're about to announce. And it is looking feral as hell. I also have a D&D game coming up. That's less established at the moment. Otherwise, you can find me on Wednesdays, Lost Caravan. I'm in Nova. I play Caldwell, resident scientist / boy genius, former foodie. We're having a normal, untraumatized time. And then the other Wednesdays, I run Beacons of Farlight, and those players are, I'll admit it, going through it. I have not been nice to them, and I'm going to continue not being nice to them because it's it makes good entertainment to put them in situations, and those little guys, they sure do get put in situations. Otherwise, you can find me here playing Queen Octavia Frostpin, where I will continue to make horrible, horrible mistakes for me, but fun for everyone else.
Especially me.
Especially JD.
All right, and last but not least, Raph, what do you have going on?
Hello, my name is Raph, and I played Carmen Deloso, and I accept all of the horrors that are brought upon me willingly and gladly. What I got going on? I don't have much going on. Next Saturday, you can catch me here, playing a much more chill character named Max Miller in our homebrew D&D game 5e. So much fun, and currently I'm currently
I'm ready and waiting.
Currently I'm inside of Hunter's body. I am moving that bad boy like a fucking mech. So here we are.
A very small twink-shaped mech, yes.
A very small twink-shaped mech. I think we called it Max Become Twink.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. But yeah, I don't even know what we're about to watch a fight. It's about to go down. That's next Saturday morning cartoons, 11 a.m. EST, which we changed from Tuesday. So come on down Saturday, grab your bowl of cereal, grab your stuffed animals and your jammies, and come watch us be wild. I don't know. Other than that, I'll be back here. Being totally normal, living my best life. Have faith, have faith.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
And last but not least, hi, I am JD. I have been your storyteller. I will be a storyteller several more times in the upcoming week, as I will be running They Call Us Villains over on Entropy Emporium, which is a horror masks game. I will also be running Redacted on Thursday over here, which is our psychological horror game that Steph mentioned, where everyone is full of ghosts. And I will be running Table 2 of this very game. Well, I'm sorry, they're going to come at me for that. Table 1, they keep insisting that they are Table 1, as they are the Friday table. So for Season of Secrets and Shadows, we will get to see the other 3 characters and a new addition to the mix, and what they get up to the exact same night that all of this is going on with this group here. You can then find me back at 11 a.m. on Saturday for class reunion, where I will not be playing Hunter. Who knows who I will be playing? We're going to all find out together.
Fuck?
And then I'll be over with Exquisite Corpse Presents later that very evening on the 20th, playing in Sister Cities, our usually non-magical post-apocalyptic dystopian game where we are currently in a fantasy world. Also, because I just jumped over Sunday, what's happening here next is Academy H1. We will have a podcast drop, hopefully at around noon tomorrow, starting up a pretty intense, exciting arc. And I will then be back for tomorrow night's recording session of Academy H, where we will be recording 2 new episodes, I believe potentially our final 2 in space. But I think that is all I have to announce right now. I can also be found in Thy Kingdom Come, our dystopian theocracy game every other Monday, and I can also be found in Nova on Lost Caravan every other Wednesday, where I am having a totally normal, non-traumatic time. Don't worry about it. And last but not least, I can be found in Never Ember's Enigma, our heist game over here on Live from the Apocalypse, which is a dating simulator. It is not a heist game. I am just creating a polycule to commit crime with, and it is fine and normal.
Yes.
And then I have a few things that I can't announce yet, because I do way too many things, but I think with that, I'm going to let my lovely cast say goodnight, especially because I know that it is late for our UK member of the crew. And then I think we're going to go. It might only be a dating sim for me, Mac, but it should be a dating sim for everyone because there's a lot of hot NPCs. If you have not seen the hot NPCs in Never Ember's Enigma, you should check it out because they're all hot. And I might only have 2 hands, but I will try to hold 4 of them, and it's fine.
You also have 2 feet.
No!
You have 2 hands, but they also have 2 hands. You can make a chain.
Rev, there's no more room in the budget for you. I'm sorry.
But
our resources have been slim over the past few months.
You've been voted off the island.
The higher-ups are just not impressed with your performance, Rav. Your jokes, they're not landing with the target audience.
I mean,
You're telling me you don't link toes?
No,
I am going
You're
to
not
try to
living,
wrangle
man.
us in.
You're not living, man.
I'm going to try to save Raph from themselves. I am
Somebody clip that.
I am desperate to get us to raid Lost Caravan, who is playing Fallout right now. Woo. So join us on that lovely raid. Ignore what Raph just said. Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Raph's views does not reflect
Sweet
their own.
dreams.